Or you can start. There we go.
Okay, wait.
And also pause it real quick.
We're all in college to become successful. And we all want to be successful because we want to live happy lives. Well, what really causes happiness? Wealth and a good job and material things? Not at all. The Harvard study of adult development has studied hundreds of men since 1938, keeping track of work, home life, and health. In 2015, the current director of the study, Robert Waldinger, stated the clearest message that we get from this 75-year study is this: good relationships keep us happier and healthier. Period. This makes sense, because we know that being with others makes us happy. Yet, our actions and goals seem to reflect the idea that we will become happy through career success and financial stability. And this is simply not true. While our community seems to believe that success and happiness are a measure of wealth and renown, what truly and consistently produces happiness is strong relationships. I will prove the truth in it by examining the problem with individualism, how relationships increase our happiness, and the types of relationships that make the most happiness. The individualism of America is one of the things that makes it wonderful, but it has one major side effect: the heightened pressure we put on ourselves as individuals to succeed on our own. We have come to believe that the matters of our own fate are in our hands, and this is simply not true. We need others, and when we ignore that need, we suffer. The individualistic perspective that we have come to have increases our drive for wealth while diminishing our need for others. According to philosopher Alain de Botton, there's a real correlation between a society that tells people they can do anything and the existence of low self-esteem. He says this is true because we believe that we are responsible for our own lives, and that if we have not succeeded, it's our own fault, not our circumstances or our environment, but ours. Basically, when we put the weight all on ourselves and don't let others to help with our load, it makes the wins feel better because we did it on our own, but it also makes the losses feel worse because it's all our fault. That's why we need other people to remind us that it isn't our fault all the time. And if they are good relationships, they remind us that we are defined by our character, not by our wins and losses. So while you should believe that you are capable of whatever you set your mind to, you should know that you are capable of far more while being far happier when you are surrounded by supportive people. And it isn't just philosophy that asserts our need for others, it's science. Investing in healthy and strong relationships makes us happier and healthier. In order to understand why, we need to start with the hormone oxytocin. Oxytocin is our body's built-in mechanism for maintaining relationships. According to health psychologist Katie McGonigal, oxytocin makes you crave physical contact, enhances your empathy, and makes you more willing to help and support the people you care about. But the really interesting thing about oxytocin is that it's released in the stress response to protect your cardiovascular system from stress-induced damage. And according to McGonigal, these protective effects are actually enhanced when you are supported by others and when you support others. In addition, a key aspect of many healthy and strong relationships, the giving and receiving of gratitude, is strongly and consistently associated with greater happiness, according to a 2011 Harvard Health Publications article. This means that happiness is amplified when the relationship is deep enough to manifest gratitude and open enough to share it. Our need for others and the happiness that results from others is also proven in the anecdotal evidence of the small Japanese island of Okinawa. Rojo Bellick and Eiji Han Shimizu found out in the filming of their documentary, Happy, that it was the connectedness of the island's people that helped them to live longer and in better health on average than the rest of the world. So relationships make us happier, but not just any relationship. This isn't as easy as small talk on a weekly basis with someone. We're talking about real, strong, and resilient relationships. In order to understand this, we need to look at how we process happiness. According to psychologist and happiness expert Dan Gilbert, there are two kinds of happiness. Natural happiness is what we get when we get what we want. And synthetic happiness is what we make when we don't get what we want. Synthetic happiness is basically how we make the best out of bad situations. It's why there is an existence of expressions such as look on the bright side and find the silver lining. Because synthetic happiness is just as real as natural happiness. You just have to create it rather than receive it. And here's the interesting thing about synthetic happiness. According to Gilbert, we are more likely to create synthetic happiness when we are stuck in a situation, when there is no option to back out. But we like that option to back out. From plans to contracts to relationships themselves, we don't like to commit to things. But when we do commit, and when we decide that there's nothing this person can do that will make me walk away from them or turn my back on them, we are more likely to create synthetic happiness. And synthetic happiness is extremely important in real, strong relationships because they're hard and they don't always involve getting what we want. So happiness is a big concept that many people define in many different ways, but any definition must include the importance of relationships. So in summary, we have a flawed individualistic mindset. Relationships make us happier and healthier, and these relationships need to be meaningful and committed. We must recognize our need for others, and we must recognize others' need for us as well, and then act on those needs. So while most will see success and happiness as a measure of wealth and renown, today I am challenging you to think of success and happiness like Dr. Maya Angelou, who said, if you find it in your heart to love someone else, you will have succeeded.